Welcome to P's Stories. Imagine a serene family, seemingly perfect, their lives intertwined with warmth and shared meals. But beneath this tranquil facade, a darkness lurked, a shadow born of past transgressions that would unravel their world and claim an innocent life. This is not just a tale of heartbreak, but a chilling reminder that sometimes the most dangerous enemies are those who appear as saviors. In the heart of a bustling city lived a family of four: a businessman father, a homemaker mother, an elder daughter named Pa, who assisted her father, and the younger daughter, Prey, who worked in a financial institution handling major clients. They were a close-knit family, sharing meals and conversations, a routine that brought them immense comfort. One evening, Prey returned home, her face etched with stress and sadness. Her sister Pa noticed her change, and soon their parents echoed the concern. With tears welling up, Prey confessed she was up for a promotion, competing with a colleague named Namwan. She wouldn't have minded losing to Namwan, whom she considered a good person. But then, a shocking truth came out. A critical document error at work, which Namwan had helped her fix, was actually orchestrated by Namwan and her team to make Prey look bad. Prey felt trapped, fearing that speaking up without proof would only make her seem irrational. Days later, Prey's condition worsened. One late night, around 10 p.m., she hadn't returned home, an unusual occurrence. After numerous unanswered calls, a car pulled up to their house at 11 p.m. A man named Kem introduced himself as Prey's client and said he was bringing her home. Prey emerged from the car, visibly trembling and terrified. Kem explained that Prey had been distracted and fearful during their work meeting, unable to concentrate. Initially, her family suspected her ex-husband, James, who had been harassing her, wanting to reconcile. Prey and James had been in an arranged marriage, a loveless union orchestrated by their fathers for business reasons, which ended bitterly after only a year when James cheated. Prey's current symptoms seemed linked to the anxiety and fear caused by James's persistence. Kem, meanwhile, started visiting Prey every evening, checking on her well-being. Pa quickly noticed Kem's affection, concluding he was clearly interested in her sister, beyond a client relationship. One night, Pa, unable to sleep, found Prey sitting by the front door, staring blankly, as if waiting for something unknown. A strong gust of wind swept by, bringing with it a putrid, foul stench like decaying garbage. Pa experienced the stench again the next morning when Prey left for work, a smell that seemed to emanate from Prey herself. Pa suggested Prey perform a merit-making ceremony, but Prey, determined to overcome her work challenges, declined. Prey later confessed to her parents that she and Kem had been secretly dating for a while. Her father, burdened with the guilt of Prey's failed arranged marriage, was delighted by Kem, especially because Kem expressed a desire for Prey to not work after marriage, wanting her to find happiness at home. Kem and Prey soon married. Prey left her job, but continued to stay with her parents often due to her close family ties. One night, Prey's mother saw James lurking outside their house. Fearing for Prey, her parents decided not to tell her, concerned about her fragile mental state. Shortly after, Pa heard a strange thumping sound from Prey's room. She found Prey kneeling, head-banging against the wall, leaving bloodstains. Her eyes were vacant, as if she had lost consciousness. Doctors found no physical ailment. This led the family to believe Prey was under the influence of black magic, likely from James. They recalled a previous incident after Prey left James, where she sleepwalked, picked up a knife, and almost cut her wrist. A monk at the temple they visited confirmed someone had used black magic to call her spirit back, and if her body or destiny was weak, it could lead to death. The monk performed a holy water ritual, causing prey to vomit hair and black soot, and prescribed continued holy water baths and protective amulets. This initial cleansing helped prey recover from James's spell, and her father severed all ties with James's family. Kim, upon hearing this story, listened in silence. Then, he revealed his own observations. Per would often wake up at night, sit in a corner, laughing maniacally. He initially thought it was sleepwalking, but one night, she looked at him with squinted, hard eyes and chillingly said, "If you die before me, I'll die with you. But if I die first, I'll come take you with me." Kem, a businessman familiar with rivals using black magic, confirmed he saw a female ghost clinging to Per's back, its head twisted 180 degrees, staring at him. He used his own protective amulets and chants from his shaman dead, to make the ghost disappear. Crucially, Kem kept this from Per's family, fearing their worry and the personal belief nature of the matter, opting to handle it himself. He gave Per holy water and consulted his shaman via phone, who warned that the thing affecting Per was powerful and contained a ghost. Per showed initial improvement after staying with her family and regularly consuming holy water. However, one day, while Per was home alone with her mother, a loud crash from upstairs led her mother to find Per kneeling in the shrine room, convulsing, urinating, and then, with a wide, terrifying grin, trying to lick her mother's face. Kim, returning home at that moment, quickly applied holy water, bringing Per back to a lucid state, though she remembered nothing. Realizing the situation was dire, Kim immediately took Per to his shaman. Shaman Dead, already aware of their arrival, reiterated his warning. The magic was too strong and a forceful removal could severely harm Per. However, out of desperation, the family agreed to a full ritual. During the ceremony, the entire family lay under white shrouds as if in preparation for death, while Shaman Det chanted. Pa and her mother felt little, but her father experienced severe dizziness and numbness. After the ritual, a kankru, container of sacred objects, was placed in Per's room. Per's condition seemed to improve significantly, and she expressed a desire to return to work, feeling useless staying home. Kem, now relieved, told the family he would visit less often to focus on his neglected business. A week later, an ominous sign. An owl hooted above their house, a traditional omen of misfortune or death. The next morning, Per did not wake up. Her mother found her room locked, which was unusual when Kem wasn't there. Using a spare key, she entered to find Per cold and rigid in bed. Per was dead. The family was devastated. Kim, despite being a son-in-law whose wife had passed, remained by their side, helping the grieving father with his business as he grew thin and suffered muscle weakness. The father, in his grief, even began sleepwalking and calling Per's name. One day, the father dropped a bombshell. He would hand over the business entirely to Kim and wanted Kim to marry Pa. Pa was shocked, but Kim merely said they would discuss it later. Pa began having unsettling dreams. She had never dreamt of Per since her death, but now, after her father's proposition, Per appeared to her first with a sorrowful gaze, then crying tears of blood. Troubled, Pa revisited the same monk who had helped Per initially. The monk gave her a protective amulet and a chant, confirming that Pa and her family were still under the influence of black magic and haunted by a ghost. Pa began chanting almost constantly, especially fearing for her ailing father. About a month later, while waiting for Kim at his house, Pa stumbled upon an old photograph. It showed unfamiliar elderly people, but the location in the photo was unmistakably her own family's house. Pa rushed home to confront her parents. Her father's reaction was of extreme distress. His facial muscles twitched uncontrollably. He refused to answer Pa's questions about the people in the photo, and her mother pleaded with her not to press him. Pa, exasperated, revealed she found the photo at Kim's house. Her father, shocked, knocked over a glass of water, and then the horrifying truth spilled out. Kim's true motive was revenge. His parents had died from black magic, and their business was taken by Pa's father and grandfather. Kim admitted to orchestrating Pear's suffering and death, and his plan to incapacitate Pa's father, all as retribution for what their family had done to his.
Pa stood stunned, torn between blaming her father and the man who killed her innocent sister. Her mother, having heard enough, slapped Kem and ordered him out. Police, whom Pa had called as a precaution, arrived but could do nothing legally as Kem had committed no direct physical harm at that moment. Kem simply walked away, vanishing from their lives. 3 months later, news reached the family Kem had died in an accident. Pa's father remained with muscle weakness, needing ongoing physical therapy, but his condition stabilized. Pa finally understood her sister's dreams. Prayer hadn't been jealous or possessive. Her sorrowful gaze and tears of blood were not because Pa was potentially marrying Kem, but because Prayer, from the spiritual realm, knew the truth about Kem's malice and their family's perilous fate, yet was powerless to warn them directly.